Now your calls on Rule Britannia, should it be played at the Proms, 0207 862 2222. So the last night of the Proms takes place tomorrow at London's Royal Albert Hall. James is now the president of this place. It's amazing. It's a brilliant thing for James. That means another outing for the iconic anthem Rule Britannia. Let us take a look at last year's performance. Yeah, I mean, it's been the subject of controversy during previous Proms. In 2020, the BBC was forced to U-turn after saying it's going to be performed without lyrics. The corporation blamed COVID, but reports had suggested it was more to do with criticism that the song is associated with colonialism and slavery. The row was then reignited last year after a star cellist called for it to be scrapped. And we go to the president first. Where are you on this? You thinking it's had its day?
Well, first of all, let's be very clear. The BBC holds the Proms. The Royal Albert Hall, it's a national charity. The BBC rent the Royal Albert Hall for their Festival of Music. It is the BBC who decides what they put forward. And yes, the Royal Albert Hall has become synonymous with this great, classical music event. And the last night of the Proms is this celebration. Now, personally, I would take the view that you have to understand what the song is, when it was written, and all this sort of business, in order to understand how significant it is.
Are there any later verses that are problematic?
No, I don't think there are. I think the thing is,
the classic thing is it's always verse 4, isn't it?
It is, but it's also, the song is about resisting tyranny. It's about the strength, if you like, of our Navy. It's about a proud British sort of history. And it is a national song. Now, if you happen to have, heritage from elsewhere, then I may understand that perhaps it doesn't necessarily, in the same way that if you go to the States and they're singing Stars and Stripes, you're like, OK, that's great, that's your song. Not necessarily for me, the Marseillaise or whatever it is. This is a great British song. I think all this conflection and nonsense about, it's either racist or colonialist or nonsense.
Well, I suppose Britain never shall be slaves isn't in itself colonialist. It just means we don't want to be colonised.
Britain doesn't want to be enslaved.
Yes.
But it was perfectly happy to enslave other people.
Yes.
And the thing for me is I'm not offended by it. I find it pathetic. I find it funny that this little island, which is only a small island now, once upon a time it ruled the waves, can't get over it. And there is another point. A lot of the music comes from European composers. One of the great things about the Proms is it is such an international thing, and it has been. Beethoven, Mozart, it brought together the great, not just European, but Chinese cellists and Japanese. And it is such an international, and more so. And why would you go around singing about ruling the waves and rule Britannia?
Yeah, I went to a prom.
No.
I went to one a couple of weeks ago. So someone said to me, "Do you want to go?" I always enjoy it. It was the Melbourne Symphony Orchestra. So you'll know what I'm about to say. That during it, someone stands up with a Gaza flag because there'd been a kerfuffle in the Melbourne Symphony Orchestra about someone cancelling a pro-Gaza performance. So I thought it's quite, and I didn't mind. I thought this is interesting, but it's political and it's current. And does that mean we should scrap the Rule Britannia or the opposite? Courtney's in Greater Manchester. Would you scrap that song, Courtney?
I think I would, yeah.
Because it's just talking about we're not going to be enslaved, but we don't mention the people we've enslaved.
That's how it used to be. That's what it used to mean. But in this current climate, and if you actually educate yourself on the things that we as a country have done, I mean, we've adopted tea, which isn't ours. We've adopted so many different cultural practices that are not ours. And I agree with Yasmin. It's just it's clutching at straws now, and being patriotic is not the same anymore.
Thank you, Courtney.
Maltese heritage.
Thank you, sir. Oh, sorry, did you say you've got what heritage?
Maltese heritage.
Maltese, okay. Well, James disagrees.
Yeah, no, well, I mean, I can understand, but I'm sure if you've got Maltese heritage, wouldn't you wish to celebrate that culture, that history? And the thing is that if you start looking through everything from the prism of today, you're never going to learn anything.
But you don't have to sing about it.
Why not?
You don't have to sing about it.
Music is a great unifier.
Go on, Courtney.
But the point is that people who are patriotic don't want other cultures. they want British, and we ruled the waves because we did so many awful things. If you actually pick up a history book,
But hang on,
You would
Courtney,
read-
so hang
true.
on. So,
Britannia rules the ways is not strictly true. I mean, that's one of the big problems here.
well,
it
okay,
isn't
fine.
true.
But let's just deal with that central point, Courtney. So are you telling me that if I stand up and I sing Rule Britannia at the last night of the Proms, that suddenly I'm not interested in other races, other cultures, other countries, other people?
Sounds a bit like it, doesn't it? Courtney, thank you. Christine is in Hampshire. Hi, Christine.
Oh, hi, Jeremy. Yes, it's about time it was scrapped. It's a very conceited song, isn't it? And
Traditional,
I
though.
think that-
It's just a trad.
No, tradition isn't set by God. Traditions change.
Yeah, but no, they don't change. That's the whole point.
They do.
Go on.
Both our aircraft carriers, I think one of them's gone back up to Scotland to be fixed again, so we've only got one in actual use. And also, the bit where it says Britain never, never shall be slaves is a bit silly because we are slaves now. We're slaves because we don't own any of our own utilities. A lot of our companies are owned by foreigners, our energy companies.
That's
so we
such
are
an
slaves.
interesting-
We're not.
I hadn't
Really?
even thought of that.
Well
Britain
done,
never,
Christine.
never
I
now.
hadn't thought about it.
Yeah, Britain will
Well,
always
that
own
opens up a
its...
whole... That doesn't necessarily mean that it should be scrapped, and I'm delighted it'll be played loud and clear.
Thank you, Christine. After the break, it's the papers and everything else.